What do these cities have all in common? They are all tech hubs. They are the core of the biggest tech companies. And then we also have São Paulo. We want to reunite companies in order to talk about transformation, innovation, and technology. It is a city that connects the country with the global market and also evolution. The city that is the core for all the digital world, online and offline. 2022, the Innovation Experience Conference is now back in an exclusive format. It is being in an in-person event, a multicultural hub, and innovative awards that acknowledge digital innovation. We have more than 100 speakers, CEOs, and authorities in one single place for the generation of networking, businesses, and new trends. And it's being sponsored by the group Innovation Xperience, Inovação Digital, Fecomércio. So it is going to be a milestone for technology, digitalization, and innovation in Brazil. In November, you will be face to face with all the media. So access our website, ixconference.com.br. Participate, engage, and be on the spotlight. Hello, we'd like to welcome you for the fourth edition of Innovation Experience Conference. We are the digital masters for the ceremony, and we will be helping you during all the event. We have three stages with simultaneously and one parallel stage. You can also access the content with all the radios, so then we'll be able to follow the whole event. The content is available in channels number one up to four. So please don't forget to return your phones. The complete content and the schedule is available on the event website and also on the monitors. As for the food, we will have a brunch, coffee break, another coffee break afternoon, and another break by the end of the event. Another thing, so please visit all the our sponsors and the innovation. So now let's just start with the official event. I would like to welcome to the stage all the leadership and executives for the EX Conference 2022. Hello. So, well, this is a digital ceremony master. So thank you very much. Uh, Welcome everyone to the Innovation Experience Conference, and it's a journey that started in 2019. It was the Auto Innovation Experience, the IB, the Brazilian Online and Offline Association, Physical and Digital Worlds. So we have the digital ecosystem, and it was very known. So we started impacting into digitalization, technology, and we changed the name of the event to Innovation Experience. And we have more than 150 subscribed um, organizations, and we'll be talking more about that. So we are going to be talking about the new era, innovation, purpose, all of that that is about the innovation. After 2 years of COVID-19, it's a huge pleasure that we are here seeing all of you, and I hope that you can have a very remarkable experience by enjoying your experiences, sharing experiences with one another. And we will all be here. We want to provide you good experiences. Thank you for the team for all your tireless efforts. Victor, project manager, all the sponsors, São Paulo Negócios, municipality, and let's just move forward. And and please, if you would like to, you can also provide feedbacks to us because we want you to get the best of it. Good morning. I've came here to thank for your presence and also to say that we've prepared this year with dedication and respect that we will have some lectures that are well prepared and developed in order to meet the needs of all of you. Victor, thank you very much. Thank you, Marcos. Thank you, municipality, Michelle, and all of you. And also the sponsors that since the beginning are with us, believing, trusting in this purpose that we have as our goal. We want to have a legacy because once we acquire others, once we are able to conquer others, we are also able to achieve our goals. So be very welcome to this event. And we will also have the exhibition spots, and I will be providing you information about it. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you, digital ceremony masters. So as we finalized the opening, let's just kick off our content agenda. More than 60 speakers divided into all the stages. I hope you get the best of it. So I'd like to call Andy for our opening remarks. Good morning, everyone. So let's cheer up, guys. I would like to congratulate Miji, Marcos, Vitor, and all the colleagues that engaged themselves in order to make this event happen. On behalf of FEComércio, Aloysio, Juan Queiroz, all of you who came here for our event, and also to talk about our digital economy and innovation council. We have more than 100 institutions. 80% of the profit of the revenue is from the digital media and retail. And we have also been discussing of what can we do in order to accelerate digital transformation. Once you see an accelerator, you have an incubator, you have some companies. And once you look at our universe, the whole universe of e-commercio, we have a little bit more than 1 million companies. What do we do in order to accelerate digital acceleration? So that is our goal, that is our challenge. And at FEComércio, we are developing a collab FEComércio in order to accelerate all of that, the digital transformation of those companies. And not only continuing doing what we have been doing, improving the working environment, legal safety for the companies, and it's essential for us to be able to assure digitalization of all the bureaucracy to work with the federal government by using technology, digitalization. We have discussed here and the work that Victor started, logistics without paper. It is a benchmark, not only for the city of São Paulo, because we want to reduce the use of paper in the whole chain, but I'm not leaving behind the paper industry. No, but we have a blockchain, we have digital certification, so there is no way not to improve that. So this is another initiative, And we truly believe that together with legal safety from organizations, institutions, and the whole system, because in order to have this digital transformation, we have a medium-sized and small-sized entrepreneurs. And we know how important is that to have a business management and to move forward by contributing with the society. And and also to improve the working environment and the acceleration of the digital transformation. So let's just have a collab. Let's help accelerate with different initiatives. How can we uh, how can we merge physical and digital? How can we talk about cybersecurity? We need to have a national impact. How are we going to provide labor? Karine is here and she's a warrior. And we also need to accelerate that labor. We have been discussing that with Professor, who is the president of SET. And what can we do within our universe in order to accelerate that? We have fantastic tools and our responsibility, private and public sectors, in order to advance in the digital transformation of the country. But I would like to thank you, to welcome you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the organization. Have a good day and get the best of this event. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Innovation Experience Group, I would like to invite to the stage Victor Magnani, President of Digital Innovation. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Have you had your breakfast? I'm very happy to see you, to look at you. And I know that there are people that I know, people who are directors, managers, coordinators, who participated back then for the development of digital platforms that we use on a daily basis. These platforms, and you guys think that it is pretty normal to order salad at home, but it's not normal, right? It's normal to order pizza. The first time I ordered Japanese food at home, my father thought that I would die. How is it going to be okay? And today we have the most different items. We buy different items, diverse items, through the marketplace. Today you don't need to go to physical stores. You need to have the willingness. And what is going to happen with the retail? Andrei, Andrei provided some steps and tips on where we need to go. Only 11% of the whole retail is selling through digital. And please pay attention to that. There is no market, that there is no domestic or regional market any longer. Because if a small sized company here in São Paulo is not selling digitally, and a company from the state of Pernambuco, Recife, they, for instance, they both sell the same kind of product, tennis, shoes, and the person who lives in São Paulo might buy from the company from Recife, right? So what is it going to happen, considering the small-sized retailers that are not selling digitally? So we have a big challenge, which is about putting aside a problem that this sector has created. It's about having, it's about terms, MVP, Innovation Experience Conference terms. Well, we should just it's not leaving behind, but we need to translate all of that in order to include more people because it's the time for us to to be on the spotlight so then suppliers will value us because the venture capital funds they are just closing the tap. That is before time, 5 years ago. Now we have more restrictions. It is somewhat good because there were different companies that they were selling the dreams, but they didn't have sustainability into their core business. But I also like to talk about people because it doesn't matter the corporate number, the enterprise number, if we don't have people that together will be able to promote, to foster this transformation. And I would like to say that I have the pleasure to have this goal in this event because I've got to know my wife on Facebook. So thank you very much, Facebook, for promoting this meeting. So then we now have two kids, Heitor and Maísa.
Well, thank God, Aloysio. But we had more meetings, much more actually. So at WeWork, a co-working that puts together different companies that I was able to meet Marcos Carvalho. Where are you, Marcos? He just left the stage. So I met Marcos at this co-working space, and if we didn't meet there, where would we? On the streets? How could I possibly found out that Marcos, who was dealing with fintech, could actually help me out and this very Portuguese-like journey with a different profile, a profile that is not paying attention to itself. They're not gonna send an invoice to São Paulo City Hall because that's not what I actually want here. So that's why we actually changed our name. It's not Associação Brasileira Online to Offline anymore. Thank God I wasn't part of this naming process. So we have Baidu, um, Chinese mogul that landed in Brazil in 2015. And at the time, we didn't have anything developed in terms of digital processes. And they were the first to do that. So we renamed, and now it's Movimento Inovação Digital, Innovation and Digital Movement. And we cope with sectorial issues and how we can actually sort those out, along with the federal government and scholars and the academy. And a lot of those things will only become a public matter if private companies are not able to sort them out. And we have a lot of issues to cope with. So Andrié, he just named one of those, cybersecurity. So we know there are many suppliers of cybersecurity in Brazil. Do we know the number? First Tech. So they raised their hands, and their booth is really cool, actually. So we don't have a lot of companies in Brazil that deal with cybersecurity. You have an entire sector to be developed here. Also, CX, it's a new concept, customer experience. He's translating from English. So, meaning that you need to meet clients' demands to know his issues in advance, right from the get-go. And traditional companies who provide customer services, are they prepared for that? Companies which are focused on call centers, hiring thousands and thousands of staff members, are they prepared to transform? Do we have those suppliers for this sector? We don't have it in a structured way yet.
Quando a gente fala de novas carreiras,
And when we're talking about new careers,
Data Protection Officer, o cara que
for
vai
instance,
olhar
data
as
protection
formas de
officer,
informação.
the guy in charge of
Mas ele é
cybersecurity and information security. So it's a hybrid career. It's partially
tecnicamente,
legal, it's partially
desenvolvimento
technological,
dos
but it's
profissionais.
also about
Onde
training
esses
people.
profissionais?
So where are those professionals at?
É raro.
It's
A gente
quite
tem
rare
muita
actually.
oportunidade
So
de
we have a lot of
desenvolver,
opportunities to
muita
develop this,
oportunidade.
a
E eu
lot.
estou muito feliz
And I'm
de
really
abrir essa
glad
São Paulo Tech Week no
to be
início desse ano.
hosting this IX
Porque
and
aqui
São
em São
Paulo
Paulo,
Innovation
aonde a gente
Experience
tem o
Week
maior
because here in São Paulo
número de escolas
we
iniciais de
have the largest number
digitalização.
of schools and companies
É
for
aqui em
training.
São Paulo
It's right
que
here
a
in São
gente tem
Paulo
negócios
that we
que
have
surgem a todo momento e a
business
gente consegue
arising every single moment and we're able
oferecer
to
para o
help them
mercado.
with this digital journey
Colaborativo é
because
o novo
collaboration
competition.
is the new
É
competition.
por isso que a gente está junto com a FEComércio,
That's why we're
por isso que a
working
gente
with
faz
Cafe
questão
Comércio.
de se conectar com a
That's why
Prefeitura de São
we want
Paulo,
to be
por isso que a
connected
gente
with
está
São
junto
Paulo
com
City
as
Hall, but
universidades,
also with
porque
universities,
sozinho a gente vai demorar
because we would take a lot
muito
longer if
tempo,
we did that by ourselves. And the world is changing
muito
quickly.
rápido.
It's changing
Se vocês
super quickly,
pegarem as
actually.
vagas de
So
tecnologia no LinkedIn,
if you
parece que é
look
pouco tempo.
LinkedIn jobs
Você
on
não tem
tech,
agora só programar em Java.
it's
Você tem
like
que saber Python.
you
Não é
don't
só isso. Você tem que
knowing
conhecer
Java is not
JavaScript.
in R anymore.
Mas você
You
tem
need to
outras
know
três
Python
programações que você precisa
and other
conversar.
programming languages. So you need to know a lot of languages just to fill up this
Não
position.
existe a mosca branca
So there are
que
no
compete
people with that
achar
background, and they're actually
a empresa que vai
competing
pegar esse profissional.
to hire those professionals.
A gente está no meio de uma transição.
So we're
A gente está no meio da
ongoing in this
terceira revolução
transition,
industrial.
what we could call the
Uma
third
revolução
industrial
industrial
revolution, a revolution that
digital
is digital
que vai permear
and industrial, and
todos os
it's gonna
setores,
be
todos.
intertwined in all the sectors, every single sector.
Hábitos de consumo, novos
So
modelos de
consumer
negócio,
habits, new
novas
business
oportunidades,
models,
novos caminhos
new
de valor.
opportunities, and new supply chains
E
as well.
voltando para pessoas,
And getting back to personnel,
foi no MIT,
in MIGI,
foi no movimento de inovação digital que
the
a gente viu
innovation,
a
digital innovation
força
movement, that
grandes
we
empresas
realized and noticed that a lot of huge companies
para
were
as mesmas
being
pessoas.
created by means of the
De um
same
lado, para a
people.
gente é bom,
On the one hand, that's good. On
não é
the
tão
other,
bom
it's
assim.
not that
A gente
good.
precisa agregar mais
Why is that?
nisso.
Because we need to hire new
Veja,
people.
de 2015
So
para
from
cá, por
2015
exemplo, eu vi o
onwards,
presidente da
we
99
noticed the president of
fundar
99
Alice, que é uma
found
health tech.
Alice, it's a health tech.
Eu vi os
After that,
diretores da Cabify,
we
que
saw
entraram no
the
Brasil em
board of
2015,
Cabify that
saírem,
joined
um
Brazil in
virou CEO da
2015,
Kavak,
and one became the
que é
CEO
o
of
maior
Cavac,
unicórnio da América
the
Latina,
largest
e isso
unicorn of Latin America in
surgiu aqui no
Mexico,
Brasil,
and
ele
he's
virou
getting in
CEO,
Brazil.
e
So
o
he
outro
became
virou
CEO of
CEO
that,
da
and
Daqui,
the other one became
outro
CEO of
unicórnio dos
Daqui,
poucos que tem no
another
Brasil.
unicorn, one of the few that we have in Brazil.
Eu vi acontecer,
So I
a
saw
gente
that going
viu, a
on.
gente
We
acompanhou,
noticed that. We were following that up
e tem
closely.
inúmeros outros exemplos.
And I have so many other
O CEO
examples.
da Facili
The
foi
CEO of
CEO da
Facili was also the CEO of Meta,
A
and they're
gente
here
é
with
tipo
us.
um clubinho, só que o clubinho está crescendo.
We are
A
like a
gente tem
club, but the
mais de
club is
100
growing. So
desenvolvedores
today we have more than 150 companies
e a gente
in
não
this group,
fechou. A gente
and we didn't split
simplesmente está
down by
crescendo.
niches. We
Então, o
actually
MIT
expanded
foi um clube
the
de
ecosystem. So
ecossistemas.
MID is a group of
Porque
ecosystems. Why
uma
is
coisa
that?
está conectada com a
Because
outra.
every single
O
thing is
e-commerce
connected to another thing.
precisa
So
de um meio de
e-commerce
pagamento. Ele
requires a
precisa
payment
ser
method.
fintech,
So
correto?
thus they require fintechs,
Se
right?
você tem uma transação de
So
serviços
if you
com isso,
have a
você vai precisar de
services
pagamento de
transaction, you're
serviços.
gonna require a payment method,
Quando a gente
either for the
começou
health
a
sector or
conectar
for wherever
a
it
venda
is.
de carro,
Once we expand the sales of
as health
pharmaceuticals,
techs vão passar a virar o e-commerce.
health techs are gonna become e-commerces
Comércio
as well,
digital,
with online profit,
marketing digital.
online prescription, and doctors'
Eu convido
records.
duas
So I'm gonna
pessoas
invite all of
qualificadas
you,
aqui. Eu
and
já
I'm pretty
vi
sure that most of you already
alguns
know. I
clientes
have already
já.
met.
O
So
nosso
as you know, this event was prepared by
para
us
traduzir
so as to try
para
and
as outras
translate
pessoas o que
to
a
other
gente está
people what we actually doing here
muito difícil.
because it's
A gente
quite
criou toda essa
harsh and
estrutura,
tricky. We came up with this
unicórnio,
vocabulary like unicorns,
colorido,
colorful,
bootstrap.
bootstrap.
A gente tem que passar agora a incluir
So
pessoas.
now we need to
A
include
gente está num
people.
momento único
And
do
we're
país.
experiencing this unique
Eu
moment
quero,
to
para
do that.
finalizar,
And just to
eu
wrap it
queria
up,
ressaltar
I would like to
grandes ações
highlight some
que a
things,
Prefeitura de
some
São Paulo
initiatives
vem
that were
fazendo
carried out by the
nos
City Hall of
últimos
São Paulo
tempos que eles vão,
over the last few
pra,
years.
vão vir aqui e vão falar para
So they're
você.
going to be here, they're going to be talking
Mas um
about
papel
that.
importante foi da SP Negócios,
But SP
porque a SP
Negócios
Negócios,
played a
gente,
very important
se
role.
vocês
Why is that?
que
Because
estão trabalhando numa empresa,
if you're
querem
working in a
empreender,
company or
isso
you're
aqui
an
vai gravar
entrepreneur,
para muito
and I'm pretty
tempo.
sure we're going to have
A
this
SP Negócios ela é
recorded for a long time,
única.
SP
E é
Negócios
muito
is unique.
difícil você ter uma cidade
It's hard
onde
to
você
have a
tem
city in which you
um
have
serviço de atendimento ao empreendedor
uh,
para geração de
entrepreneur customer
negócio
services to
unificado.
create leads and to help those entrepreneurs. It's really hard
Não
to
dá
have
para
that.
você ir lá e falar assim, putz, o cara está
So it's not meant
precisando
for you to be there and have
falar.
someone telling you off
A
or
SP
saying
Negócios
that you
está
need
aqui
some permit.
para
That's not the
justamente
point.
fazer o
SP
oposto.
Negocios is there
Falar, ó,
to do
você
quite
não
the
está
opposite. So
conseguindo
they're saying like, if you need a permit, I can help you out with
o que
that.
mais você precisa.
What else do you need?
Então ela vai ao encontro desse empreendedor.
So
E falar de
they go hand
alvará,
in hand with.
eu que
And talking
acompanho
about
muito
permits,
tempo a
for
política
me,
de São
who have
Paulo,
always
gosto
been
de São
monitoring
Paulo,
São Paulo
eu
politics,
gosto
even though I'm
bastante.
young, I like politics.
O prefeito Ricardo Nunes,
So
quando
Mayor
era
Ricardo
vereador,
Nunes, at the time he was a city council
desburocratizou
member,
a questão dos alvarás.
he democratized
Deu mais
the
prática
permits in the city.
no
So
manejo dos
he
alvarás.
expanded the
Eu
deadlines,
lembro,
and
eu lembro, eu estava
I
lá, eu
remember
vi.
I was there actually, so
E
it's quite easy for me to
o
remember that.
prefeito ele tem um perfil muito
And this
semelhante ao
mayor,
perfil
he has a
dos
profile
novos
that is
profissionais.
quite similar to the profile of
Ele
new
tem bastante
professionals
repertório. Você vai
because he
perceber
has a
pelo
lot of
currículo dele.
vocabulary and
Por
repertoire.
exemplo, que eu tentei de casa.
So I have this example at home.
Por muito
My
tempo,
wife is a
a
doctor.
academia,
So for a long time,
a indústria
the
inteira
medical
sempre
industry and
buscou
academy,
fins
they required
especializados.
hyper specialized professionals. I actually mean this hyper. So a doctor,
Ortopedista,
which is
no
specialist
joelho,
in
no
orthopedia
knee.
on the right knee, but all they
E
need to
hoje
work
nós
with is
temos
with the ligament of the right
profissionais
knee.
com
And
muito mais
nowadays, we
repertório,
need professionals to have a lot of repertoire
multidisciplinar.
or horizontal knowledge. So this GPO, for instance,
De privacidade de dados, não
is
consegue se
a
comunicar com o
privacy
gestor
officer,
ou
and
entender de
he needs to
tecnologia
understand about
somente para
technology and
relacionamento.
communication. It's not enough for him to know
Também.
only legal matters. You can try that, it's not going to work.
E o
So you need
prefeito
repertoire.
Ricardo Nunes tem
And
repertório.
Mayor Ricardo Nunes, he has this experience, this
Outra
repertoire, because he was a city councilman.
homéricos
He
de
was part
discussão
of huge
de
debates
principais
in the Chamber of
leis.
Commerce, and I was part of one of the
E
most
ele
important
manteve
ones.
de maneira bastante
And he
técnica uma
preserved, in a
equipe
very technical way,
que realmente
a
está
team
colocando para funcionar.
that is actually making initiatives work.
E uma das pastas que
And
merece
one of
destaque
those
também
that we should highlight is Aline
é a Aline
Cardoso's.
Cardoso tem agilidade para
Aline
entender
Cardoso is quite
e
agile,
executar
just like
comunicações
us.
que você dê.
So you should try talking to
Rapidinho,
her.
ela vai tentar colocar para funcionar.
She's gonna try to make things work pretty
Ela tem
quickly.
muito o nosso perfil, não só
So
soft
she
skills,
has
mas
our soft skills, our
hard skills.
profile,
E o grande Aloysio Nunes, que
and
é
Aloysio Nunes.
necessário,
Um,
a gente, Aloysio,
you probably know him. So for us,
a
Aloysio,
gente tenta criar uma cultura
we're trying
onde
to
a
come
gente
up with a culture
alguns atores novos se
that
sintam
some new
muito
agents
melhores.
would see themselves as the best ones. So
E
there's
tem
new
tudo a ver
economy,
com
new
outras.
politics. You should second guess everything with a new
Aqui a nossa cultura é de
on the name. So it's
valorizar,
not about that. It's about
valorizar o
appreciating
que foi
things,
feito,
appreciating the work
porque
that
é em
people have
cima do que
carried
foi
out,
feito
because it's
que
on
a gente
top of that
constrói mais.
that we're able to develop even
E o
further.
Aloysio
And
é um
Aloysio,
psicólogo
He has an outstanding background in terms of contributions for this country. So I would like to personally thank you
você contribuiu para muitos lados.
because you contributed a lot to
Desde a
that.
época que a gente conseguiu redemocratizar,
Since the time that we were able to
Juan também
democratize
pediu
this
um
country,
enorme agradecimento
I would also
a
like
uma
to thank
casa
Juan
que tradicionalmente em outras cidades olha muito
for
para trás,
something that traditionally
que é
would look
tecnologia,
inwards.
que é
So
a
technology
IT e a
is
secretaria
it's something that should be
agora
up to
olhando
the
para
secretariat's IT, and
olhar
they're
de
looking
fora para
outside to
dentro.
their
E se
exterior
for para
now
ir para aí,
to get to know
vamos investir no
if we're
digital, vamos
investing
investir
strategically in
como a gente
IT,
pode
innovation, and digital,
o que a
how
gente
can
pode
we attract
fazer
or allure those
para
companies
acelerar
so as
esse
to speed
crescimento
up
na
this
cidade de São
growth
Paulo?
process in the city of
Porque
Sao
a gente
Paulo?
vive momentos em que,
Because we
se a
are
gente
experiencing those moments
não
that
criarmos esse ambiente
if we do not
propício ao
come up
crescimento,
with this environment that's favorable for
rapidamente as
business,
empresas vão para outros lugares.
companies
Então,
will
como eu
move
falei,
elsewhere quickly
não é só no
to
Brasil.
other places in the world, not
Trabalho
only in
remoto é
Brazil.
mundial.
So we know that working remotely is legal
Trabalhar da
now,
sua casa é
so you can work from
mundial.
home or
A
anywhere
questão
else,
agora é
matter of
quais
fact. So
são os incentivos adequados
what
para
are
que
the
a
right
empresa
subsidies? And I'm not really talking about the classic and traditional argument from the traditional sectors like financial subsidies. I'm not referring to that.
que faz sentido.
I mean the actual arrangement or assembly. So is it being connected to investors, being able to hire good
Para a
labor,
gente desenvolver as empresas,
or if you have room
isso
for
passa
improvement?
muito mais do que
So we're actually dealing with much more than just asking for any type of financial subsidies.
So that is what we are trying to do here. We are trying to have this culture to be able to perform things together. We don't only want to order up for things. We want to perform, to conduct things along with you. So I am finishing here, and I would like to thank you very much. And I also would like to have a song of applause to all of you who participate here of the mid, the IX, this event because you deserve more than myself. Thank you very much.
E agora a gente vai passar o
So
vídeo
now
em
we are going
seguida
to play a short
o
video
nosso
and moving forward
grande
I will be
speaker
calling
Aloysio.
the brilliant speakers.
Agora
Aloysio?
a
Okay, okay.
gente vai passar para
So,
o momento
all right.
seguinte. Agora
So
nós
the
vamos
video is going to
chamar
be after.
o
So
Aloysio.
now I'd like to
Aloysio,
invite to
por
the
favor,
stage
por
Mr.
favor.
Aloysio.
Gente, de novo, uma salva de palmas para o Aloysio.
Sort of applause to Mr.
Mais
Aloysio.
alto, mais alto.
Louder,
É o que ele merece.
louder.
Vocês estão aqui também por causa dele,
And you
tá?
are all here because of him, okay? Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. But I think that the person who deserves this all of applause is my team here that has organized in partnership with all of you to have this activity of the opening, the Tech Week. It is a team ran by Michel. He's a Corinthians supporter, and he has an outstanding team. This is the very first time that we are going to have the opening of the Tech Week with a very important partnership. The Tech Week, as you might be aware of, has started in back in 2017. It was the very first Tech Week that it was realized, and Teklos, um, he he was the chief executive director, and he just left his heritage. The first Tech Week, he took over, and before the pandemic, we had 200 events spread in the whole city. So we are having in this event also, what is the word in English? I've forgotten. Innovation experience. Innovation experience, because this transformation is not reversible. Because if you just sit on a restaurant and then you need to scan the QR code of the menu, so the digital world is penetrated in everything. And even considering the biggest democracy event that is about the elections is now digitalized, we are living in a different world, in a better world, for you to be able to relate with people that are abroad and be able to establish connectivity with others. That creates a foundation for this utopia. But we are having this opening of the Tech Week with you. Those of you who are here with us, you will be seeing more than 100 lectures, people that are renowned in the industry, organization leaders, entrepreneurs, researchers, and professionals who have developed new products. And they will be able to exhibit all of that for you. And besides that, also to receive the contributions, because this is about connection, it's about fostering connections. The idea to be here with all of you this year, when we had some meetings at São Paulo Negócios, we were discussing with some sales reps of the São Paulo economy and also the public power, because we want to contribute with these sectors and the new technology sectors. It's a little bit spread, but it is important to have this sort of connection, and the public power has got a lot to contribute. And even considering São Paulo State is the center, is the business center, and the unicorns in Brazil, two of the unicorns are in Brazil. So we have a mayor who is very sensitive considering this new world that is emerging, Aline and the secretariats. The mayor is a very practical, objective man with this kind of sensitiveness in order to improve our society. And I also would like to mention some examples as Ricardo Nunes. The reduction of the aliquot. It was not even a fiscal benefit, but the the equality, and even considering Brazil, the this it's about the pride and also the companies. So the mayor, once we had a meeting with telecom companies, we we took to the mayor a proposal for the appropriation, and before time things were different. So the city of São Paulo, it is not prepared to have the 5G. So we had also breakdown zones here. For instance, if a teacher gives a tablet to a student, depending on the neighborhood, the kid wouldn't be able to use because of the breakdown. So we had, because of the blackout. So we also established some agreements with tech companies, and we are now able to put São Paulo, considering the infrastructure and technological infrastructure. So the mayor ordered to the municipality chamber a lawsuit for some gaming, because this is being developed enormously, and I've seen the sports event that held that had more than thousands of people, considering the digital world. So how is that in the UNSS? Because it's also about Brazil. In 1922, there was the celebration of the independence, and there was an exhibition. A mummy, an Egyptian mummy. So, and we didn't know how to deal with that situation. So we needed to have creativity. So then now we have this project that is in the chamber. Mayor, you are supporting the approval of the PO of Vila Leopoldina, the urban plan. And what about, and there's also the creative district. So it is going to be a big stimuli for the development of this region with industries, activities that are about technology and development. Imagine, Mayor, that you, with all this extraordinary capacity, and the President Bolsonaro, the agreement not to have the debt, and considering our financial resources, can you imagine that, Mayor? It's going to be the same capacity for you to unactivate CIAGESP from Vila Leopoldina and do something very similar. An area that the Portuguese government destined it to the install of new buildings and new industries. So all of that, we are better now, because before time, elections were all in paper, and now we everything is digitalized. Okay, I just would like to conclude, to finish by saying about the importance of this meeting for us. It is extremely important. Aline had a meeting with a working group in order to to talk about projects. So we are living a very stimulating phases, and the Tech Week and the partnership that we've established, this connection, and we want to renew that in other events. So that all provides me good satisfaction. And the analogic world, that it is slightly it is slightly moving forward, and it's also about to understand how beautiful is all of that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Aloysio. Well, every time that I hear Aloysio, I hear him with good attention because he has got experience and he has done the things right. So, yes, it is about having this connection and contributing to the city of São Paulo. So, I would like to ask to invite our Secretariat, Karine Cardoso, who is the mother, who is the manager of the all the initiatives that we see in the city of São Paulo involving technology and transformation and also innovation. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I would like to congratulate the mayor, Mr. Aloysio, who is organizing this event, and Juan. When I was senator, I took it to the city calendar. So everything's very connected, and I'd like to thank for your presence here, and I also would like to talk about MID and also Adriana because we need to have more women, right, in the group. Yeah, and in the 90s, I I was in an old school group, and got modern, so Python. So we got modern. I will have a speech in the stage number one, so I will be very brief. So first, I would like to say that our acceleration strategy of businesses has accelerated more than 340 businesses, and we had investments, roundtables, and practically all of them came from the suburbs, the communities. So we want to have this ecosystem even more democratic, providing more opportunities. From 340 businesses, some of them received investments from Nubank and other players, Expo Favela. And there's one that I would like to emphasize in order for you to know the numbers passes. They are a startup. They teach about technology and for 60,000 people. And also our initiatives with all the resources by Ricardo Nunes. I'm not talking about productivity, but being able to teach about logics, about innovation, and also soft skills. So we've graduated more than 6,000 people. They're very complex. It's very complex to get everybody, and we also have some new editors, and we are creating policies that is being stimulated to Ricardo Nunes because besides the digital that we have the portal, we will also have physical spaces spread in the city so that we will be able to have the qualification of technology with not only with our contact but also your contact. So we would like you to be partners of the municipality considering experience qualifications and also the mayor. This is going to be very historical for the city of São Paulo.
So in our BNCC, our national curriculum, we just started our fifth course in technology training. And this technical course that is being ministered by the City Hall team is the cornerstone for something that is we're just developing. It's the first time, right, Mayor? So the mayor has authorized me to say that the City of São Paulo is part of this initiative, and 2023 will be fundamental for that. We're going to create the first technical school in technology of São Paulo. Thank you. Mayor, this round of applause is meant for you. So this is going to be added up to some initiatives that are already existent, but always trying to come up with a modular view so that these new students can get together with other agents from the third sector so that we grow even further. We know that the bottleneck is hard, but our efforts are also great. So I'm not only conveying this information, but more than that, we're making a public call for companies that we so that we can hold hands. We're never going to be able to carry out any training until we get to that point, because the market is going to be the one to train this professional. But we do something that is very valuable. We are raising awareness for young people in tech jobs. So we're presenting them with opportunities, we're inviting them, we're selecting them, and we're preserving, retaining those staff members. So we're carrying out initial and mediary training so that you carry out the fine training. So we're going to be acting at first and then you at the end so that we can make the environment and the ecosystem of São Paulo become stronger, but also a lot of competition and inclusiveness. Thank you so much. Over 12 million inhabitants, over 1,050 square kilometers, 32 sub-city halls. So this is São Paulo. Do you know how surprising I am? I'm known as the Stone Jungle and the Rain City, as people like to call me, but actually I'm much more than that. I'm hiding stunning treasures. Nature is one of them, and I love them, represented by hundreds of parks and trees on streets, sidewalks, and parks, which make our landscapes very attractive. And for those of you who are into urban centers, one of the highest skyscrapers are here. I'm quite diverse. We have communities of many ethnicities, and my arms are always open to welcoming whoever's coming. We receive millions of tourists every year, and thinking about that, I make the most to take care of you who have selected me to be part of your life. Everything is at your disposal to support you in whatever you need. Our commitment is making everyone feel at home. This is what drives me every single day, and there are a lot of people dedicated to this endeavor. Taking care of this is not always simple, but if we do it together, it's going to be easier. And overall, I'm always cheering you and cheering your success. And that's why we created thousands of job positions over the last years. You know that fun, emotion, and this very amazing experiences is part of our way of life. I'm always providing you with the best opportunities of having fun to make the most of life. So we have been separated for a long time, but now it's time for us to get together because working together works. But I'm more than just numbers. I'm you, and I can barely wait for this incredible moments we're gonna experience moving forward. So let's move together.
É isso aí, pessoal.
That's it,
Vamos
guys.
convidar o prefeito.
So before we invite the mayor of the largest city in terms of business and tech companies in Brazil and Latin America,
Fazer algumas menções honrosas
I
aqui.
want to make some remarks to women,
A Sofia,
to
do
Sofia
Mercado Livre,
from
que é
Mercado
nossa
Livre.
presidente
She's
de
the vice
comunicação.
president of media. A round of applause for
A
Sofia.
Sofia, ela é um trator.
Sophia is a powerhouse.
Coisa aqui com a gente. E a
She
Ju,
does a lot to help us in terms of this sector. Lilian from Lala Movie.
conosco há muito
She
tempo.
has
Uma
also
salva de
been working
palmas
with
para a
us for a
Ju.
long time. A round of applause for her.
E em nome delas, também
And
quero
on behalf of women, I would like to
que
acknowledge
trabalham
all
junto
other
conosco.
women that work with
Ana,
us,
Carol,
like Ana,
a Maísa,
Carol,
a
Amaísa,
Vanessa
Vanessa,
e muitas outras
and
que
many other women that
unir uma comunidade
make
diversa
Med a diverse community.
com riqueza.
So you should check out the communities
Ecossistemas
and the leaders of these ecosystems which are reflected in this ecosystem. So we have a health tech committee,
pela Paula,
which is spearheaded by
cartão de
Paula
todos,
from Cartão de Todos.
cartão de todos é uma saúde,
Cartão de Todos é uma
e tem
saúde.
outras tantas verticais que
And we
talvez
have other
não
verticals
sejam tão
spearheaded by women,
reconhecidas.
and I'm really
Então,
proud of
com
that.
vocês,
So
que
now I'm gonna
vocês
hand
são
it
a,
over to
a
the
criadora
mayor
de
of the
negócios
largest city
e
in terms of
empreendedores de
business and tech
tecnologia. Uma
companies
salva
in
de
Brazil and
palmas.
Latin America. A round of applause for the mayor.
Isso.
Pessoal, bom dia.
Morning, everyone.
Não tenho muito mais o que acrescentar.
I don't have a lot to
Como
add to
já
what
falou aqui,
people have already said. So
a proposta
Vitor,
da Luiz Nunes,
Aloysio
a
Nunes,
Aline Cardoso,
and Aline Cardoso.
mas para fazer uma complementação.
But just to add
Primeiro,
something here,
eu não sabia que era tudo isso que você ia falar aqui,
I didn't know all that you mentioned or made me seem like it,
mas
so
vou começar
thank you.
falando assim, você
But I would
começou
like
a
to
falar da
start saying
vacinação,
that we're from the
ontem
world's
a gente
capital of vaccination. So yesterday we were
identificou
able to
mais uma
identify
nova variante,
another
dois
variant of
casos,
Omicron, COVID.
72 anos
So a
de morte,
72-year-old lady
um rapaz
passed away, unfortunately, and a young boy. So we have this new variant of
nova.
COVID, Omicron. So if you didn't take your booster shot, you should take it. We have 570 health units that could provide this vaccination to the general population. So we're here. It's such a special moment after 2 years with no in-person events, and we should not lose this opportunity. So please do your homework. This is a pledge. If you didn't take your booster shot yet, you should. Having said
A
that,
gente acabou de vir agora de uma viagem muito interessante
we're
a
we're
Lisboa,
just in Lisboa, Portugal,
que foi um detalhe assim, de todos os detalhes
and
importantes.
out of all the important details, that is one that I would like to highlight.
De 20 startups. A gente teve
So we created 20
pessoas
startups,
contando suas
and we
histórias.
realized that we have people telling their stories there. So people coming from Capão Redondo,
Nova startup,
people that just set up their startup fostered by the City Hall of São Paulo,
time aqui em Perus,
people coming from Peru,
região de Jardins.
people coming from the neighborhood of Jardins.
É importante mostrar que nós temos um lugar
What's important to highlight here is that we have this opportunity for these people who have such talents could be blossom and that this talent could be accelerated so that
a cidade de São Paulo também coloca
we're able to insert São Paulo, but by doing that, we're also inserting Brazil in a global scenario and an international scenario, which is really well seen and acknowledged due to all the things that we develop in terms of technology. There's not another thing that I would like to highlight, and I think it's quite important. It's part of my lecture in Eco Summit, just to mention, comment on what Aloysio just mentioned. So we provided tablets to our students, and we had meetings with telecom companies to talk about the importance of having internet signals. So there are no new technological progress with no internet. And the actual word progress, if it's not universal and meant for all, it's not actually progress. So when you get a part of society progressing and the other parts are not progressing, you're not actually progressing. All you have is inequality. So you will have to think this in a comprehensive and inclusive way. And why am I saying that? When the São Paulo City Hall provided 500,000 tablets, and the company that won the tender process for that, they had so many tablets, no one had ever purchased so many tablets. They actually had to come up with a new plant or factory to produce all those tablets. So we provided 506,000 tablets for our students. We have 1,080,000 students and 46,000 laptops. And as Aloysio reminded us, what notice here that out of the 506,000 children that got this tablet with a chip and educational content so that they can have access to internet and to the educational contents and be able to use this during class, but also at home, we have identified 120,000 kids out of those 506,000 that were living in neighborhoods that didn't have access to the internet. Why is this important? Because you're opinion makers here, you're at a different bar or level in terms of technology. So can you just imagine 120,000 children in the most rich city in Brazil, the third largest GDP in Brazil, and we have these outskirts areas that don't have access to internet. So why is that possible? Is this situation actually progress, like I mentioned before? Uh, so some people are using 5G and people are using 0G per se. So we carried out this very important work that is sending this bill to the Chamber of Commerce, and we invited telecom companies to the city hall to the table, and I'm gonna link to what's going on right now. And Vito mentioned that before. So this event is fundamental for that because we have the private sector spearheading this event. It shouldn't be up to the public sector, but we're here working with universities, with the private, with the public sector, with institutions like FEComércio, and all of us together were able to move forward. Now that I made this remark, we invited telecom companies to the table, and we said we're in the richest city in Brazil, and we have these zones in which we don't have internet access. So we mapped those areas, and it will be a total of 262,000 antennas to cover the entire city so that we could provide internet access to everyone and then technological access to all as well. So with that, in this bill, we provided very high discounts to install these antennas, and we have the schedule to wrap it up by the end of the year and install antennas to cover the entire city, and everyone can have access to the internet and thus to technology. So this was one of the things that I would like to share with you. We should think about technology to everyone. I know you're already doing that. The City Hall is doing its part, and we should be very tuned in terms of these relationships, training. So we reduced from 5 to 2% the tax for apps and business liaison. We are developing this huge initiative, smart cities initiative, in all aspects, transport, security. So we just launched a standard process for a monitoring system of 120,000 cameras with AI to improve people's quality of life. And all of that has just become possible because of those initiatives, the private sector, and all those talented people such as you, so that we can walk hand in hand and improve people's quality of life. I would like to thank everyone for being here. Vitor, on behalf of you, I'm going to thank everyone. So we are quite organized. But the ceremonial master is the best. So I would like to thank, on behalf of Vitor, all of you who are part of this event, and you should be counting on the City Hall of São Paulo. Thank you so much. So now move forward with our programming. Play the video, please. As people are walking with the mayor to the exit, we're going to be inviting the panelists. So play the video, please.
Prefeitura